Well, hello, this is Professor Lewis coming to you with Week 5 edition of the Introduction to Public Safety Administration. Let's look at where we were last week. Last week we covered the topic of budget and how budgeting may affect public safety. We had an opportunity to do that, looked at the opportunity, a couple things we had discussion topics on, and certainly enjoyed some of the comments that brought back there to it. More importantly, most of you probably were working on completing your papers that were due last week. They will be reviewed and hopefully get them graded and back out to you sometime this week. If you've not yet submitted it, please make sure that you do so. Remember that there is a grading penalty for each day that paper is late, so it's to your advantage to submit it on time. Also, please remember to share your paper so that others can benefit from the research that you've conducted. Some classes we haven't, many students will share their papers. Other classes, not so many do. They're afraid they don't want other people to read it. Maybe they'll ridicule you. That's not. I usually don't find that the way. I find the way that people will give you positive feedback, and most people enjoy. And certainly when you selected your topics and did your abstracts, you'll notice that a lot of you got a lot of comments that says, "Wow, that's an interesting topic. I look forward to reading your paper." So please share. That topic remains open. It is in the Week 4 folder, but please make sure that you share that so that others have that opportunity. So here we are at Week 5. Week 5, we move to the subject of policy and how policy affects public safety administration. So your readings talk about some different policy modes. You have an opportunity to look at that. And then we kind of take a little bit of twist onto it, something that probably is a little bit more interest to many of us, and that's the topic of privatization. You often hear a lot about that. Is it better to keep certain functions as a government task, or is it better to outsource those to commercial enterprises to do that? And it's not always just a cost savings measure. Sometimes it's a matter of supporting the local economy by creating those jobs. And so we kind of look at the pros and cons of each, and what in your organization could be or has been privatized in order to kind of help affect that kind of thing. I'm also going to push you to start thinking about, I know you just got done writing one paper, your major paper, but you do have a second paper that's due in Week 7, and this is Week 5. So just like we did before, I'm going to ask that you submit a topic for your paper prior to that. So we're going to look at a topic, something. We're going to look at a topic that may affect public safety administration. Maybe in your organization, if you are in a public safety arena, maybe even not in there. And we're going to kind of say, what is the issue? How does it affect our organization? And what is your plan? What is your proposal? Remember that an executive briefing is very short, so I'm going to limit you that to 3 to 5 pages in order to tell what is the issue, how does it affect us, and what's my proposed solution to kind of getting around that there. Look in the content section. There's some help stuff there that kind of helps you through what the paper requirements are, what an executive briefing should be. I know some of you had a little bit of difficulty thinking about the essay paper and what it should be and where you get help, but that's kind of the same thing. And we will have the requirement, just like we did before, that you submit that through Turnitin, just to kind of keep everybody on the honest side and make sure that you didn't copy and paste it out of some stuff that you did, that you actually had your own little bit of research in order to talk about the subject and do your analysis in terms of how it affects your organization and what your recommendations are. So we're going to keep this right at about 4 minutes, and so I'm going to sign off for Week 5. So remember, your topic must be submitted this week. Paper must be due in Week 7. And so we're going to look at policy this week. So we're going to sign off Week 5 edition of Introduction to Public Safety Administration.